Welcome to Cut the Sith Reading Club Episode 2. I am Colin McSorley. Today we will be discussing Phase 2 Reaction from Star Wars A New Dawn by John Jackson Miller. I will not be hosting this evening, sadly. That will be my trusty Padawan, Alex. But before I turn it over to Alex, let's introduce you to the High Council. Yona, what's up?
I'm excited to discuss I didn't realize you were going to call on me. I'm excited to discuss part 2.
Always be ready.
Prepared. Not much, man. Not much. I'm excited to be here.
Big Steve.
I'm pretty excited to talk about some of the developments that happened within the second part of A New Dawn. And, I mean, I haven't read the whole book. I'm curious to speculate on what's going to happen on the last third of the book with, everybody here, especially those that are like me and don't really know what's coming next. So that'll be good.
Ryan is eating dinner, I believe, so he'll just join us when he's done. Sierra, what's up?
Well, I just finished reading part 2 like 2 hours ago. So
Nice.
It was very intense, and I'm excited to also discuss it. It's pretty intense, like I said.
Before Alex takes over as the host, moment of silence for all those we lost in part 2. Okadai is the ultimate wingman. Alex, after you, sir.
Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. It's nice to see everybody again. I'm happy we could all meet. I'm going to give a quick minute synopsis, spoiler-free, of Phase 2, and then we're going to run headfirst right into the open discussion. So the first thing I wanted to point out very quickly about something that I love about this book is the actual titles of the phases. Like, I'm not a huge chemistry guy or anything like that, or I don't like to read so much into things sometimes, but the title of the phases really give everything kind of away that you're about to run into. And in this part of the book, we really get to some serious meat. You know, there's really no more playing around. There's no more, now everybody knows everybody in this book. Everybody has a clear path of what they think may happen. And like the title says, reaction. Everything that is going to come henceforth is a reaction of everything that has happened from the last phase. And with that being said, I'm very excited to start the conversation with you guys. So I'll pass it over. What's everybody's just initial thoughts and feelings on it?
Someone pronounce his name for me. Is it Okadai? I wrote it down. I can't pronounce it.
Okadai.
Alex, listen to the audiobook.
Yes, I do. It's Okadai.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
And he's the man.
Yes, he is.
There's one thing I have to say about him. The one thing I have to say about him, he used his last breath to try and hook his bro up. He's the ultimate wingman. He's the ultimate wingman.
Legit.
Oh, I love that guy. R.I.P. I took the moment of silence mainly for him. The rest of them were just collateral.
That's exactly who I had in mind when you said moment of silence. I was like, oh yeah, for Okadai, sure. And
Yeah.
then we lost a
That
couple
for
other people.
Lau,
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I was
And
about to
Lau.
say.
the way she died.
That was pretty messed up, yeah.
Oh, Steve, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
How do you feel about Vidian as a villain? Because I know you love your Star Wars villains.
He's a very interesting character. Like, I don't know. I mean, he seems like the kind of villain that you would definitely find in a Star Wars type story. He's definitely doing a lot to drive up the conflict between, himself and then Kanan and Hera. And I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I suppose. I know he's also driving up resentment for Ray Sloan, and like his subordinates don't really seem to respect him at all either. So I'm almost half wondering if like something from like if it's going to be like an internal demise almost, like if that's going to be what is his undoing. I don't know.
I think I'm getting his rival crossed. Who's Baron Danth? Why do I have that written down?
The Baron Danth is kind of like another. He's another Imperial top. I don't want to say top official, but he's comes from a very big manufacturing family, and they manufactured droids and especially like worker droids. And during the Clone Wars, I'm pretty sure their family had a big hand in battle droids for the Separatists and all that type of stuff. But he's essentially he doesn't get enough credit, man. Listen, I have a tendency to root for those kind of a-hole characters at the end of the day, and he's 100% there. He's the one that's just consistently undermining Vidian to the Emperor at any turn he can.
This
It kind of
book shows
reminded me a
lot of
little.
able characters.
Oh, I'm sorry. It reminded me a little bit of I don't know who all has read like Shadows of the Empire, the older book / video game.
Yeah, I was thinking Nintendo 64 forever.
Yeah, in that one, Vader had this rival who was Prince Shizor, and he was like the leader of Black Sun, which was a criminal syndicate. So going back kind of like to the earlier discussion where I can talk tonight, I swear. We were comparing Vidian to Vader, like Vanth gives me this kind of Shizor-ish feel to Vidian's Vader. And like kind of seeing how the two of them are going head to head reminds me a ton of Shadows of the Empire, which I really appreciated.
So am I the only one that during the, I think I might be, I don't know what was going through my head, but during the first Skelly sequence where he's bombing Vidian, all I could think was The Undertaker meets Terminator and Benny Hill playing in the background. Like it just seemed like he kept getting up, and then the next thing you know, it's another explosion. I just pictured like Vidian laying down and kind of like just rising up, you know? Yeah.
Feel you there. Oh man, I really, I mean, I like Vidian as a bad guy. He's
awesome. He's cerebral.
He is. He truly is. And I just like the fact that he's, I don't want to say a mad dog or anything like that because he's way too intelligent for that title. But, you know, it's you see it especially the moment he goes through that hollow disc from Skelly after delivering a massive beating to him.
He was handing out ass whoopings to everyone.
I honestly can't wait for him to like die. I hope he does.
It's gonna be so satisfying when he does, though. Yeah.
It really is.
Can we appreciate when he reached for the pole to, instead of helping her, he was like, "Will you just die already?"
Yeah. Oh my
Even
god.
like, you know,
My jaw dropped
her
reading
down
that.
more.
He's an efficient bad guy.
He is.
He knew how to increase efficiency, that's for sure.
Listen, and I liked Law. I really did.
Mhm.
She started laughing, and there's certain things you should probably know you don't do in front of a cyborg, and you know, laugh at him when he tells you need a triple production. You know, just doesn't. Bad move. Bad business move on her part.
Especially after he just told her that droids would be better than organics at doing this job.
Oh, no, I thought it was.
You gotta do what I
opposite.
do with Sierra. Whenever she tells me something at work, I just nod and agree.
Honestly, I just felt so bad. She was giving a tour. She was so excited and talking about all these safety precautions and what she does in all of these different areas. And he was like, she ended up dying. It's just like, oh, bad. In a way, I kind of saw it coming when he was like, how so? She's like, well, she ended up in the pool of acid.
I think it was already established that he hates tour guides.
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
Bored having to witness it was really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And what are they? How do you pronounce their kind? Basilisks?
Yes.
Basilisks,
Yeah,
yeah.
like Basilisk.
they like, I can picture Gord with like 6 arms and just tough and having to be helpless. It was just like sad. Oh.
No, I
Then
agree.
he came back with vengeance.
No, but I agree with you, especially in that part. I jotted it down somewhere in my notes just to make sure, but I remember I wanted to bring it up is at one point in the text it actually says that, you know, Hera is holding him back from him trying to actually jump into the acid bath.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a rough
Mhm.
one, brother.
Yeah.
That's a
He's
little.
big guy to try and hold back.
Hey, Hera's a boss, though. Let's
She's my queen.
that flying.
You're
that,
queen.
that flying is, you know.
She's the
Listen,
greatest pilot in the galaxy, which I think they try and say Poe Dameron is at one point, like before one of the movies, and it's like no, Hera would fly circles around him.
Better than
Said
Solo?
specifically to Steve.
He said so.
I would say yeah. I don't know. I love Hera, and especially they really did like hone in on the whole her being the master flyer, especially the part where she actually got the bus to fly.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about her past. 'Cause I know Canon was a Jedi. Well, you know, training to be a Jedi. I don't know that much about Hera, but she's freaking amazing. You know, I wonder how she became such a great flyer, or did they mention that? Did I skip over that?
No,
We don't learn much about Hera's past.
no.
Which stinks, because she's intriguing.
And honestly, a lot of the stuff we know about her past comes from like the shows. Or at least I haven't come across any of the new books that really like delve into it or anything.
Even in Clone Wars, you deal a lot with like her dad. You don't deal at all with like her. So
Yeah.
even in the stuff in Rebels, they don't really go into like anyone's past in Rebels.
I want to say that her dad showed up in another new canon book, Lords of the Sith. Her dad showed up in that one.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one with Vader,
Okay,
right?
yeah, because they landed on
Ryloth.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. They ended up crashing that ship there.
Mhm.
Her dad's a boss, so I would say eventually check out the shows as a side note.
Hera's in everything now, by the way, if you like her. Like the Star Wars Squadrons game. She was in the trailer for that. I think she might be in Alphabet Squadron at some point. Because I know.
I think she is, yeah.
Yeah. So she might be in some other books too. Seems like they're going all in on her.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm also cool with it.
She might be in like the background of like the movies.
I do
Not
want to learn more
shown, but you
about
see like
her
her ship
past.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you there. Like how she ended up actually getting like truly involved with all this. So, like you get hints of it here and there from other content, but I feel like there
Yeah,
really
so
isn't anything
well, that's the
definitive.
thing I wanted to actually ask about because it doesn't actually have anything to do with the book, kind of. But the whole book is about Kanan and Hera, and it serves kind of as a prequel to Rebels because it's 6 years before Rebels. And then in Rebels, you meet Ezra in like the first episode.
Mhm.
Steve, because I feel like you might know the answer to this. Is there anything that explains how they come across like Zeb or Sabine at all?
Outside of the show, and I mean, granted, I haven't really watched all that much of the show. I
don't
can't
know.
really think of anything that comes to mind.
So I wonder if we might, I don't know, if there's like, I don't know, I think there's an epilogue. There's something called Final Destination, not Final Phase after Phase 3. And I don't know if that's going to serve like as an epilogue and if it might show the Ghost crew getting together. I'm like, we don't really know much about how the whole crew got together.
That would be interesting to explore. Yeah.
So what I wanted to say about the book was like Hera and I'm gonna say his name wrong. Kanan.
Kanan.
Kanan and Hera, they kind of just met, and ever since they met, they were inseparable in so many ways. And all the things they went through, it's like, I mean, you don't just trust someone, right?
It's called
And
true love.
But Hera, and then I thought, like, Hera is so observant and sneaky that she trusts him not from her interaction with him, but just from watching him off the side. Like, she learned about his, like, she's judging everyone and building their character up on what she observes rather than just their initial, like, conversations. Because she was, like, with the money that he left Arcadia and stuff. She's like, yeah, I saw that you did this and this. Kind of like, she's kind of always watching too. So.
Well, you're right. She does bring up. There are especially a few points at that in the throughout phase 2 that she brings up the fact that like there's much more to Kanan than actually meets the eye. You know, like he may play, you know, the rough and tough kind of drifter that just, you know, doesn't really have familial attachments or anything to the like, but she's one of her and Okadai are really the two throughout this novel that kind of see through, and you see this with Okadai too throughout this, especially with the death of Lal, that, you know, they kind of see through the veil a little bit.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Is my guy Skelly like the biggest idiot in the galaxy?
Kind of.
He gave Vidian the entire idea to blow the moon up.
I did not know that was coming. I didn't know Vidian was going to steal his whole idea. That was amazing. And I was like, okay, Skelly.
He's like, shit, we can just blow it up and collect everything after? That saves so much time. The man's all about efficiency.
Yeah. I wonder how he feels though. Does he feel like shit? If I never told him, this would have never happened? Or if he's...
I hope so.
And let's not forget, people, what people?
What was that, Ryan?
And I said, let's not forget, he was like, people? What people? Just blow it up.
Yep, true. Hey, I mean, listen, minors, right? Whatever.
Minors in the Star Wars universe tend not to last very long. Common trope.
And I'm sure during Skelly's whole, you know, throwing bombs everywhere, he had to have killed some people. Just some innocent bystanders.
Definitely did.
I did love the part though where Kanan and Hera think, all right, listen, we're finally got away from a little bit of the BS that's going on. And then they make sure they really make it known that, you know, they see Vidian and Sloane running by them like, huh, interesting. That's a little weird off color, right? And then bam, Skelly right at you yet again.
Lost audio. Can you repeat that?
Oh.
When I came back.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that there's one point where, you know, it kind of seems like Kanan and Hera think they get to calm down a little bit from the initial reaction of what's going on, and then they happen to see Sloane and Vidian run by, and they're like, huh, that's a little off color. That's not that's not how it's supposed to work. And then bam, Skelly, speeder bike right into the transport. Fuck you, Okadai. Had that one coming.
Yeah, I thought the TIE fighter action sequence was pretty well written, or at least I was very entertained. And that whole section flew by for me. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
What do you guys think about Sloane?
I like Rhea Sloane. I think she's cool.
Yeah,
I do have a lot more knowledge of her because she's in a bunch of other like books and comics and stuff.
Yeah.
But overall as a character, I think she's awesome.
I haven't decided if I like her or not. I probably need to know more, but
I was gonna say, like, with Colin too, like I've seen her in a few other things, but I was also gonna say, like, some of the Imperial, I don't want to say underlings because obviously, you know, she's at a relatively higher position than most Imperials, but it's hard not to humanize them, especially at one point during this phase. She brings up the fact when Vidian wants to put essentially boots on Gorse and on Cinda, and actually have, you know, troopers there going through the mines doing whatever they're supposed to do. She I don't remember the exact quote but it was essentially, she grew up around minds like that, and she never wanted to return to something like that. There's little moments like that where they really do humanize some of the Imperials, and she's one that I do like her, and I feel like she's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I kind of thought she would oppose blowing up Cinda, and she kind of is, but isn't. It's like, okay, we'll do the test, and if it works, we'll proceed. And it was like, I don't know. I wish he would have, but again, Vidian might have beat her to that. So.
I was about to say, Vidian's a tough dude to say no to. Listen, it's
yeah,
those big robot arms, that beautiful face. It's hard to say no.
You beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. When they talk
At
about
least
punches,
Vidian
I'm like,
handles his own business. You don't like someone, he doesn't have an underling take care of it. He just punches you to death himself, or
he has no
throws you in a vat
feelings.
of acid.
You just
That's true. He leads by example. He did rush.
He's like Alexander the Great, but robot form.
Very true. Not like the Greek reference.
I know. Aren't you named after him?
Damn right I am. That's a whole other book club. We'll get into that another night.
Oh, you want to do an Alexander the Great book club?
Could. Easily could. Listen, I would lead that proudly.
No.
That's not what we're here for.
Yeah, what about Cyborg Alex?
Listen, I don't know. I mean, granted, Vidian did all of these things. Maybe he got sick. Maybe something happened, that there was initially reasons why he had to put on that cyborg. Initially get some, cybernetics to help him through the day. But listen, some of that stuff is cosmetic.
For sure. I would agree with that statement.
Listen, this is like, when people get addicted to like liposuction or something like that.
Or like hair
I can see
transplants.
how it would work with cybernetics.
yeah.
Dude, I would do it because even when he was gonna like upgrade his eyes and he didn't go like full to like the full upgrade because like for his memory bank because it was too risky. If there's a chance to like get some cybernetic upgrades where like maybe the risk is only like 20%, I'd do it. It's like what the hell? 80% chance with like no failure? Hell yeah.
Still a B. Still a B.
I mean, everyone in the Star Wars universe seems to love cyborgs. Everyone loves Vader. Everyone loves Vidian. Maybe fear, maybe love.
Respect. They respect him.
I'm personally loving Vidian more than everyone in this book so far.
Vidian's the best character. He really
It's
is.
hard not to. I
I
mean,
love to hate him.
It's that because
Exactly.
I love his character, but I love him because of how much a dick he is. Because I cannot wait for him to get his ass kicked.
I know.
Yeah, he's a
That's what
great
I'm looking for.
villain.
Too.
He's
I am hoping Kanan's like, you know what? Fuck this. There's nobody around, and just pulls out the lightsaber and just goes
Oh
fucking
my
Jedi
God.
on his ass.
I would lose my mind if that happened.
yeah. I just think it's crazy because Kanan's been alone for so long, and he meets this girl, and now he's just like doing whatever she wants. Like usually he's like, fuck off. I don't want to do no, and he's just like, I don't know. I guess I feel the attraction. Like I don't know. He definitely can't leave her alone. It's not like
Kanan had me pulling at my heartstrings because like I said, he's a loner. He goes from place to place. He doesn't form any like attachments the Jedi way.
yeah.
But Obadiah was his bro and was like a father figure, a mentor to him. The second he saw that explosion, he did not give a fuck about anything. He was running towards it. He got shit. He was heading in there. He just needed to make sure his guy was all right. So
I thought he was already
I
dead.
was like, damn.
When they were like, he has blue lips, he looks frozen or something. And I was
He
kind of
stayed
glad he got
alive
a
just to
couple
be
of
like,
words
look, give
in.
my guy a chance. Give my guy a chance.
Yeah, well, he's probably happy that Kanan went back for him. It's like, that's my dude.
And that he made a friend too, so that he wouldn't be alone after he'd gone.
He made a hot female friend.
And
That was most important.
before he left the bar, he mentioned her too. He's like, is she causing you trouble? And he's like, no, but he knows. He knows what's up.
I was gonna bring up a little earlier about Obadiah when I made the comment about the few of them seeing through the veil is, Obadiah does bring up when it's just Kanan, when he's trying to bag up some food to bring upstairs to everybody, is Obadiah brings up, he's like, things have been a little messed up since that pretty lady came around town that you've been, so infatuated with. And he even starts off that kind of saying, like, listen, I know you took the ship. I know you're involved in all this, but, like, you tell me. So I think Colin's right. There was a bit of that father figurely bond there that I'll also say Star Wars is a little famous for.
Yeah. I was hoping before he, died that we get a little hint that he would, pull Kanan aside by himself, like, listen, dude, I know you're a fucking Jedi.
I'm waiting for the reveal. I want to
give a little hint that, listen, we're pretty close, and you pulled out some, stupid stunt moves a couple of times. You definitely know the Force.
Yeah.
But no, instead, he was just like, listen, my dude, he's a good guy. You should give him a chance.
Yeah, I do hope there's a Jedi reveal at some point in this book, even if it's, super tiny.
A lightsaber video. Just a lightsaber.
I don't know, but now they're in, what's canon. Even stormtroopers have lightsabers. So is it going to be a massive deal to see a dude pull out a lightsaber?
I think still.
I wouldn't do it in front of everybody. Because he's still going to keep his secret identity. But it could be Spider-Man 1. Green Goblin knew that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, and then he killed him. So it was no one else does. It's like, listen, Vidian knows I'm a Jedi, but he did, so. I assume Hera will find out, I'm thinking, by the end.
I'm assuming something's going to happen.
Maybe
with
sooner?
Hera and Vidian. She'll probably witness it or something. Yeah.
Well, and they keep, they are consistently, and maybe it's just for a little bit of character development for Kanan, but they are constantly referencing it. At one point, Kanan thinks back during this phase to one of his teachings from his Master Balaba.
Yeah, Balaba.
Oh, it's Balaba.
Yeah, which is a bit of an unfortunate name, but hey, listen.
Bilbo Baggins.
She was a savage. You can't say she wasn't.
Yeah.
But they are. I hope that there's a big, maybe not even big, but I hope at least well thought out Jedi reveal for Kanan, because it's just they're putting a little too much emphasis on it for it. Even you guys were just saying, even if it is just Hera that ends up finding out about it, someone's got to find out about it by the end.
Yeah, it seems like they're going way too much on his Jedi past to leave that reveal to be in Star Wars Rebels and not do it in the book at all. Because we know he trains Ezra in Rebels. Spoiler, so I haven't seen it. It's in the commercials. But he trains Ezra. So at one point at least between the end of the book and the start of Rebels, Hera knew. She definitely knew. I don't know if the rest of the Ghost crew knew, but Hera definitely knew. So at some point, she finds out he's a Jedi. And I feel like the perfect part would be the end of this book with the confrontation with Vidian, because how else are you going to basically kill the Terminator?
Yeah, that's when you got to bring out the Force. Do you think that when they were basically on the run and Hera was navigating, do you think it was just too smooth? They were just too good together on knowing what to do? I felt and Zaluna was in the ship the whole time and didn't get injured. That, when I found out she was in the ship, I was like, was it really that bad? It was intense while I was reading it, and I was like, okay, well, this girl was safe the whole time, and she was just trapped. I don't know. It was so
I gotta know the compartment she was in, because she was completely safe.
Yeah.
She didn't hear them at all. They didn't hear her at all. What was she in?
Wasn't she in the bathroom?
Celestians are pretty tiny, though, right?
I don't
Steve,
know.
you're the one with that knowledge. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
like-
take your word that she's tiny.
Like Celestians are probably like, you know, under 5 foot. Like could probably fit very easily into storage. I don't know.
Great. Like a
Oh,
storage
Just a
room.
corner.
Like,
I thought Skelly was really tiny till I googled him and it ruined my immersion.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Also,
That was a rough
you
one.
want
Who you
to
guys
talk
think
about
is going to die
ass
next?
kicking.
do you think
I
someone's
think
gonna
Skelly's
die?
gonna die.
Yeah.
I think Skelly will die in part 3.
Skelly's the next one. Yeah.
I'm
He's
thinking
already-
that as well.
Yeah.
I felt
Honestly-
really bad when he was picking out his teeth or like counting his teeth.
He was like,
I'm like,
he's
I'm
still
actually-
going though. He's
I'm making a
determined
prediction
himself.
here.
Prog-
Skelly's gonna go full suicide bomber and take down the entire like Empire force himself.
That makes sense. I can see
He
it.
gets all the explosives, and he's just so fed up with them. He's just gonna take them all out with him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very
yeah, right.
sad.
It's a plausible theory. I mean, they do weigh pretty heavily throughout the book. And in this phase, again, they bring it up again that I forget specifically what chapter it is, but he brings up that essentially the war, well, after he gets turned out by Vidian, so to speak, he brings up the point that, you know, the war never really ended. You know, that nothing ever really changed, and that the Clone Wars, you know, he saw through the veil of that it was all just a farce and essentially a way to roll out the red carpet for the, you know, the new regime.
Mhm.
So it's not implausible to think that he might go a little too far.
Vidian, not Vidian. Skelly's like 2 steps from figuring out that Palpatine played both sides. The man isn't that far off from like realizing that the whole war was a farce.
No,
I mean, he's dumb and he's crazy, but he's right like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dumb.
He's not dumb.
Crazy, irrational.
He did
Yes.
Over the blueprint to blow the moon up. Thinking Vidian was gonna be like, you know what? This is
Irrational.
great. You're making my job easier.
That's naivety though.
I think that's changed. I thought he was an idiot part 1, and now in part 2, I can't find the adjective to describe him, but
He's a lovable idiot, like me.
It's like he's an idiot, but he's our idiot now.
Yeah.
yeah. maybe I
We
feel
can
like that.
call him an idiot. No one else can call him an idiot.
But because we touched on it just very little, I wanted to, here it is. I wanted to bring up a quote from Herod directly, and it's I can actually tell you right now what chapter it's from. Like I like to send Colin my notes sometimes from chapter 36.
Yeah, he sends me his notes because I ask him to, but I don't know why because I can't read his handwriting.
Yeah, my handwriting's getting more and more like cuneiform as I get older, but that's a different
I
story.
haven't handwritten anything since like high school.
I love handwriting stuff as a side note, but getting back to, we touched on it a little bit, just with the main central 4 characters. I thought, because I love this type of stuff, especially when books do it, shows, movies, I don't care what it is, when they kind of just do the shout out to the title of the work that you're looking at.
I remember that. I was like, they set the title.
Yeah, I can't help it. I'm one of those. I get super excited when I see it. I get all giddy. So I wanted to make sure that I wrote it down. And what Hera was essentially thinking in her head when she was sitting there after everybody agreed that, like, yeah, they got to do something about Cinda, something has to be done about Vidian, is not exactly the new dawn she had in mind. And
I didn't catch on to that. Thanks.
I missed that point. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's
I remember
especially
reading it, but it didn't click. Oh, you said that.
especially me being like a show watcher and stuff, like I really liked it because you kind of see that the
Truly
obvious.
is The Walking Dead.
I will not be the last
Alex is
Jedi.
just like, yes.
But I like that it kind of shows that, and Sierra brought it up earlier too, that, you know, Kanan and Hera kind of just immediately got together. There was immediately that chemistry there, and even through this book, you know, the attraction doesn't even really need to be brought up all that much with the way some, you know, that what I mean by that is, you know, they essentially don't have to roll out the red carpet that, you know, he's attracted to her. She obviously has some form of attraction to there. The chemistry seems very natural, and I like the fact that it kind of, like I said, being a show watcher, that I got super excited because I'm like, cool, okay, so like this is the prelude, like this is it, like this is the first time they're meeting, and this shit ain't gonna stop. It's not gonna stop for a long time. So yeah, to an extent, yeah. But I did want to bring that up. But so there's a quick question to everybody. Where do you guys think the book is going from here? I guess I can ask that the best because I've read through the book a few times. But for you guys who haven't, where do you guys see it going?
Showdown on Calcarin or whatever it's called.
Ooh, oh,
What did you say?
Corin?
Showdown
What?
on
How that pronounce?
Calcarin system.
Yeah, Calcarin, you said it right the first time.
Calcarin, Colcarin. That's what I'm thinking.
The plot moved a lot faster in phase 2 than it did in phase 1. Like phase 1 was a slow burn, and phase 2 shit happened like every page.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to continue into phase 3, and yeah, shit's going to hit the fan. Hera's going to find out Kanan's a Jedi. Skelly's going to die, taking down Vivian with some sweet kamikaze attack, some like Go Tank style.
Vivian's
gonna
going
be
to come
awesome.
out of the wreckage, and then Kanan's going to have to finish him off after
I
that.
hope that's what happens.
They survive the explosion. That'd be sweet. It'd be like
A lot to kill.
that one guy at the end of the Cooler movie. After Cooler's dead, like that one random guy was like, "I'm still alive," and then Piccolo kills him. I think it was Piccolo.
I thought it
Collins,
was
you gotta fill in Sierra. Do you know Dragon Ball? Because Colin's dropping some like deep cuts from Dragon Ball.
Me and Sierra saw Dragon Ball Super Broly together.
Yeah, I went with you, but that was my first movie. My brother's into Dragon Ball. I used to watch it with him sometimes, but I'm not like a huge fan, I would say.
Listen,
Yeah,
Now-
I know like the characters.
If I could write the end to this, I don't know if anyone caught chapter 34, the first like 2 paragraphs, they mentioned the blood cultists. I hope they show up and mess shit up.
Weirded
I
out by
forgot
that.
about
I thought it was hilarious.
Why did they even say that they were blood cultists?
Oh, so good. So
So
good.
much detail just for them to wear cloaks. Like, oh, they're the greatest
well, because it was like
disguise ever
was-
because there's a blood cult that comes out and, you know, takes
Gets the
people's
animals
pets
in
out.
the camera.
it was basically just to say that they could blend in because everyone's like these blood cultists.
It was a little
They're
bit too
weird. We're just gonna ignore them. And it's like, here's more of them. Look
What was the
away.
name of
Well, they
what
said,
was the name of the, what was the name of the gang in the beginning that had the
Oh,
same
yeah.
name job of the
The one
Hutt
that Hera
Palace?
hired.
Huh?
The one that Hera
Oh,
hired that like
yeah.
Kanan beat the crap out of the leader.
Yeah. What were they called?
Yelkins people.
Not the Rancor.
Yes, thank
Or
you.
was it Rancor?
Yeah, I hope they show up too, like a couple of them.
But it was kind of funny when they're like, if people come close, just growl like you're hungry.
It's classic because whenever you don't want anyone to sit next to you on the train or the bus, you act like a crazy person. Like when I sit down on the bus and I don't want anyone to sit next to me, I growl at everyone that comes near me.
I'm a verbal. I'm always making noises like, it doesn't matter. It's just funny.
If you talk to yourself on public transportation, everyone stays away from you. And I assume it's the same thing when you're a blood cultist.
True.
Half the blood cultists are probably just like introverts that don't want to be bothered.
No, they do rituals and stuff.
And confirm.
And
Hang out in the background. They just hang out in the background, like not eating animals, who just want to be left alone.
then they said they canceled animal control.
Yeah, the Empire.
So they went into detail, so you might be going somewhere. They might be a big part of part 3. Who knows?
I'm hoping that they show up. First time I've ever heard of a blood cult in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Gideon just
I
wipes out the animal supply and they have to go after him. We have nothing to sacrifice now.
I kind of like that they brought up the blood cultists though. Like I kind of liked that little quick aspect as fast as it was the occult and like dark other religions that have popped up. And I'm assuming obviously like some form of subsidiary of the Force or people that follow the Force. But I do like the world building, and especially this being the first book in the new canon. I thought there was some fun world building in this one, especially in phase 2.
Yeah, we need a blood cultist spin-off book. I want to know what like
Yeah.
dark
Blood
magic
Cult, a Star Wars story.
would read
some
that.
like crazy dark like blood Sith magic they got, like the blood benders in Avatar.
Honestly, I'd read it because I loved quick shout out to the Night Sisters.
I was thinking of the Night Sisters too. Yeah.
But I thought the blood cultists. The moment they said that, I thought of that. I'm like, oh, okay, these dudes are gonna do some freaky deaky like voodoo magic or something like that. All right, I'm down with that.
With the end though, I hope we don't get like a Vidian just blows up ending. I want an actual fight sequence. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want him to
some
get his ass
catharsis.
beat.
Yeah.
He's given vicious beatings to people that they've like written in detail that this guy needs to get one himself.
Especially with Gord, right? Gord, Law's husband.
Yeah, Gord.
That he.
I felt those punches. I felt them.
That was a rough one, especially and yet again, Skelly screwing something up. Clips him with the transport bus.
Yeah.
Gideon rushes the scene like a linebacker, and Gord is just, those 6 arms ain't gonna help you, brother. I'm sorry, but they're
It
not.
was cool, like the visual of him just having like guns in each hand.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I also like when
I was like, oh, he's gonna mess stuff up, and I was like, oh, spoke too soon.
And especially how he shows up and he's like, I'm putting you under citizen's arrest. In my head, I'm like, Gord, no, dude, no.
They're going to
I was
jail.
like, just fire, brother. Just fire on him. Like, screw it. Just fire on him.
This dude tossed your wife into a vat of acid, and when she was trying to crawl out, he was poking at her with a stick to keep her in there. And you're like, sir,
and
you're
he
under
saw it
arrest.
on camera. He saw it.
Dude, Vidian just cut down that family tree like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Did they have any children? Because
I hope not. That's a miserable story to tell them.
Another revenge story.
Kill Bill.
I'm trying to look at my notes too. So Gorse is still okay. Cinda's the name of the moon though, right? I kept crossing those.
Cinda's the moon. That's the one that
Cinda's
blew
the
up.
moon.
And
Which
we
one's
heard the
dark
name.
though? Is it Gorse?
Gorse is dark. Cinda is like the beautiful caverns.
And I was just gonna say, I heard the name Lemuel.
Lemuel Thars.
Yeah, we haven't heard
Yeah.
of him or her yet, right?
With in this phase, the only thing we get, and I believe it's in the very last chapter, 36. I believe that's when Vidian brings up that Lemuel Thars has, gone over all of the information on the data cube, and that he's okayed what's going to happen, that he has a set plan, and that they need to follow this. And glad you brought that up, because that's also a point of contention between him and Sloane a little bit, because she wasn't happy with this rando that was allegedly on the ship somewhere that nobody knows.
And she was also giving flack to her lieutenant, who was giving her sass.
Yes, that's also very true.
Or maybe I'm mistaken that Zaluna was trying to look up.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Or am I wrong? Wasn't there like a character that she was trying to find? Zaluna?
Oh, in the beginning? I don't know who it was.
I don't remember.
It's probably a different name then.
I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
either.
To be
I'll
honest,
post
I
it.
forgot everything from phase 1 the second I read phase 2.
Okay.
My
Maybe I'm wrong,
mind
though.
got limited then.
I just know she was looking for someone, but that could be wrong.
But no, you bring up a good point too, though, that in this phase again, like in the first phase they did too, you know, Zaluna's knowledge of at least the surveillance part of the in and outs of the Empire again becomes an essential factor for them. You know, she brings up the fact that the transport was bugged the whole time, and they would have never known in a million years without her.
Yeah. And I really do think that her eyes are kind of like representative of her surveillance, because they always talk about her big eyes, and she literally sees everything.
No, you're right. It's kind of like not to get technical, but like, you know, the filter on a camera. They say she has big black eyes. That
I got that.
It's kind of like when the camera lens opens up all the way. So no, brings up a very good point.
Colin, what's your take on what's happening next? Same deal? Showdown somewhere big?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna, because everything in phase 2, page after page stuff was happening, and I think the same thing's gonna happen in phase 2. It's just we're gonna not speed to the end, but shit's just gonna keep going happen. Like, it's gonna be like a roller coaster ride that is gonna end with Vidian and Scully's deaths. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I can't wait.
But there, you're not giving anything away, right? You just think that's
I haven't read part 3 at all.
You haven't? Okay.
No, this is the first time I read this.
Only Alex that really knows what happened.
Yeah, I think I'm really the only one who's read through.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to give things away, because I know stuff that happens in Rebels, and since Rebels happened 6 years later, there's like some things I can kind of like assume take place, and I'm not trying to give that stuff away, even though I actually don't know.
So what do you think, Fiona? What do you think's gonna happen?
Oh, it's just a big showdown on. I mentioned Colquhoun, which I've never heard of before, but I'm assuming they're going that way, and I'm hoping that the Empire ships the ultimatum, right?
Yes, that's the one I'm saying Scully's gonna suicide bomb.
Yeah, I'm hoping that ship gets major damage. I don't want a Vidian cop-out death. I want a full fight. I'm on agreement with Colin in regards to Scully's going to die, and blood cultists are going to show up, and that stuff.
Really hold on to this blood cultist.
I hope.
I mean, you can all hate me too. You can all hate me about this in regards to Okdaya, whatever. I'm sorry for saying whatever, but in regards to his death, I did have to go back to phase 1 to be like, oh yeah, he's that guy. Like father figure.
We took a moment of silence for him.
I know, but when
for others too.
I'm combining my ending with Yona's. Scully suicide bombing the ultimatum and taking it out. But Vidian ain't dying that way. He ain't dying until Kanan beats the shit out of him with a lightsaber. He's gonna have Hera in like a goddamn cybernetic death grip, and Kanan's gonna force pull the lightsaber through his stomach.
So how do you know that Hera's not gonna kill Vidian?
Oh, that's a good.
She doesn't use the Force.
True.
Doesn't matter. She's freaking amazing.
I know,
That's
but
a good point.
listen, I'm fine. Listen, female empowerment. I'm fine. I love Hera. She's my queen. I'm fine with Hera whooping his ass. I just want to see him use the Force. Otherwise, so honestly, as long as he uses the Force, she can kill Vidian with the lightsaber. She can do some like Ronda Rousey like chokehold with like her legs and just snap his neck, and I'll be fine with that too.
Yeah.
See, what I'm picturing is that Hera and Kanan are going to struggle a little bit with Vidian. They're going to take him down. Kanan will have the opportunity to finish him. I don't know that he will. And as they're getting ready to leave, or before, I guess, Kanan can strike him down, that's when Skelly shows up and Skelly finishes the job for them or something. I don't know. That's my theory.
Skelly's gonna hug him. It's gonna be like another Dragon Ball reference here, when Cell is gonna blow himself up and Goku uses the instant transmission, and they both blow up on King Kai's planet.
And then
Skelly's
Mr.
gonna bear
Satan.
hug him And they're just gonna blow each other up.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna add that I like what you guys are thinking, but I'm gonna add that Sloan
Ryan's gonna
is
make
gonna
this go
get.
Revan somehow.
Nope, I'm gonna add that Sloan. I have a feeling is gonna be a part of Vivian's downfall because he's been pushing her buttons throughout the whole book.
That's true. That's a
Do you
good
think
point.
she's going to look the other way while they go in there to?
mentioned- Sorry, Steve. You go.
Maybe not look the other way, but maybe there's gonna. My thinking is maybe there's gonna be a conflict between the two of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, he tends to make people feel like shit and worthless. So
He makes those backhanded comments at her, like "This is your
yeah,
chance. You
making
could
her
be a
feel like,
captain
oh, you're
somewhere
just
else."
a substitute and stuff. And, okay, she might just watch him die or help.
And he's doing things on her ship under her command without her knowing.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the ultimate is her ship, right?
For now,
She's temporary captain of the
Temporary.
ultimatum.
So maybe it doesn't get blown up. She just becomes permanent captain after Vivian dies.
Ooh, don't say that.
Continue on that rough legacy of just.
Well,
Any chance of her like converting to not be part of?
I mean, I know the answer to that question, so I
I
can't
also know the
answer
answer
it.
to that question, so I can't answer.
Alex knows the answer to that
I
question.
feel like then I would really like her, but right now I don't know how I feel about her. I think the
That's why I haven't mentioned her in any of her predictions, because I know too much about what happened
Okay,
to her after
thank
this
you.
book.
Thanks.
That's one frustrating part of this book for me. Not frustrating, but I started to watch Rebels. I'm like 4 episodes in. So I
You
already
watch Rebels
kind of
while watching
know-
Clone Wars? You gotta
Huh?
watch Clone Wars first. You gotta watch Clone
Well,
Wars first.
We
The
haven't
thing
watched
is-
Clone Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to watch Clone Wars.
That's
With
fuck-
some of these characters, I have to force myself not to Google because I'm afraid either, this is all taking place way before A New Hope and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm afraid to Google, what Google, because you're going to find
I
That's gotta be
spoiled Okadiah's death when I was reading Phase 1 because I Googled him. So I knew his death was coming at one point.
Oh, Colin.
Yeah, I'd
that was
rather
a good
just.
one, especially the
I
burial scene.
also spoiled a few other characters' fates who I'm not going to mention, who may or may not have died. Like
Okay.
Lal Growlick. Not going to say any names.
Oh.
I basically spoiled everyone's death in Phase 2 when I Googled their characters in Phase 1, so I stopped. I just
What,
want to
what,
see
do- what do we
they look
learn
like.
from that, Colin? Don't Google things.
Yeah. I Google and go
mean-
straight to images. I don't want to read anything.
I did that with Skelly, so I don't actually know what happens to Skelly. I just knew what he looked like. And I was
Mhm.
like,
So,
He
yeah.
looks
Surprised
too
you even
cool.
do that, Colin. You usually just Google yourself.
Listen, that's because there's a lot of news articles right now. There's one from like the Celtics playoffs in 2008 where the news said that I wear legends on my back because I had a Celtics Hall of Fame t-shirt on. No big thing.
No
I have a
big
video
thing.
for that.
But
But
a
enough
decade
about
ago.
that. I'm sorry that they haven't made the final since 2010. It's not my problem. Ugh. Alex, you're the host. Continue.
So I was gonna.
Calling you an asshole.
Well, I didn't know something else was gonna come up. I was waiting for you guys so it would be organic, but fine. If you want me to be
No
more
dead air.
authoritarian, that's it. You get it. The Mazameta's coming out of me.
Ooh.
Who do you guys think Lemuel Tharse may be? Or better question, what role do you think Lemuel Tharse will play in Phase 3 of the book? From the little bits of hints and knowledge you may get from him about him throughout not only this phase but even the last phase.
Well, if Vivian trusts in him, he's a little someone to be wary of, I guess. But I don't know too much about him to have a prediction.
Yeah, I have not formed an opinion on that.
Because Vivian really doesn't like anyone, and for him to be like, well, this guy says it's cool, it's like, okay, who is this guy? He must know something.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, that's a bit of a point of contention between Vivian and Sloan right now, is especially that report that came from good old Senor Farce.
Yeah.
I haven't formed an opinion. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what to think either.
Yeah, I don't know enough about. There's just not enough information to go off of.
Okay, fair.
To the point that I completely don't remember the character at all until you mentioned them. I was like, that name may have showed up.
Yeah, she was pretty pissed, Colin.
Yeah, but I don't remember the exact name. These names are so hard to like pronounce.
Yeah,
You want to know what? They're not even that hard.
they are.
Listen. Well, it's because I do the audio. It's because I do the audible. But Colin also brought it up. Made sure he brought it up in the last video. That like, imagine like I'm going from audio trying to like phonetically spell out these names. I'm butchering these poor people. I'm
That's
butchering.
no. The worst is when the first Thrawn book, when they first introduced Thrawn, he's like Thrawn, whatever his name is,
Thrunvius.
whatever like Thrawn's like full name is, and you're like, how do you spell that?
Patience.
Well,
Pure patience.
I guess you could
Audio
spell
books need to
Kanan
come
with a
a
K,
glossary.
like
Yep,
K-Nan.
It is with a K.
Okadia, you could just put okay. Dia.
I think he did that in his notes for part 1.
Well, then
Makes sense.
I started annotating his name because in the book they're like Okadiah.
On the screen.
So I'm like, oh, like Professor Oak. So it must be spelled like O-A-K, right? Like it has to be.
Oh, like the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, there's no other possible way you could spell that. That'd be foolish. My bad. Sorry, I'm looking for, in my notes, I annotated a question somewhere, but,
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm thinking this final section is gonna go really quick.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
yeah,
A
because
little bit more development, but
I didn't look up how many pages the final section was. The first part was 130. The second was only like 95 or something.
you got me.
But it's
curious.
383 page total, so the rest of that.
I'm not sure about the amount of pages themselves, but I can tell you phase 3 will go from chapter 37 to chapter 55.
Those chapters are so. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask people. For
So
those that read a
the
lot of books.
Kindle app says there's a 4th phase, but it's only
Yeah.
2 chapters.
Yeah. That's
there
the
is.
epilogue. The final is the epilogue. It's the final phase damage assessment. But I think it's only like 1 or 2 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Those chapters are so small. How is everyone enjoying the small
I
chapters?
love it.
That's the way chapters should be.
It's like Da Vinci Code. It's like, the chapters in Da Vinci Code are so short, and it's like, wow, I feel really smart for finishing these chapters so quickly.
So I had the I was listening to the audiobook of the 3rd Aftermath book. I think it was like Empire's End. And I don't know how many pages it was because it was the audio version. There's a chapter in there that's 53 minutes long.
Is
And
it
I'm like,
really? Oh my god.
How many pages is a 53-minute chapter? Because the chapters in this book are like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, I was about to say especially through Audible, these is like especially for phase 2, like it was the absolute quickest part of it. I crushed honestly most of it within. I did the brunt of it in one day, and then the next day I finished up like the last 2-3 chapters I had left for it. But that's the other thing too I like it about is the chapters are very concise. They stick on one central thing. They run with it the entire chapter, and then it ends up for the most part segueing into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's phase 3's title? Detonation?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
And then there's
I
the
really thought that
final
was
phase,
clever.
which is damage assessment.
Oh.
Oh, it's just cool. That was really cool what they did with that, with the reaction and the.
We're covering both of those next time because the final phase is literally like 10 pages or something. Not even, maybe.
Yeah.
It's 25.
This is the first book I've read since college. Like, not even gonna lie. I think I read 2 books after. I don't know.
Well, Sierra got mad at me last year for this, but
Wait, what I do? What?
Normally, I just listen to audiobooks during work, but actual like reading, I've read this one. Actual like reading books, I only do at the beach. Sierra hates people that read at the beach.
Why? It's good.
What's wrong with reading at the beach?
Yeah, right?
Okay, the sun is
Okay, good.
What's
freaking
this crusade
She made
about?
me
blinding. The
She
sun
made
is
it seem like I
blinding.
was the weirdest person because I
I
was
just
like sitting
read
there
it.
reading the
I
book.
go to the beach and I have fun and play in the water. I talk to my friends. I'm drinking. I'm eating. And there's people that want to relax. And like, first of all, it's freaking blinding. The sun's out. You're wearing sunglasses, and then you can't really see what you're reading.
Oh, I don't
And
wear sunglasses. It covers my
if
big
you're
boobs.
tanning. How are you gonna like tan right? Like I don't know. I
Look at
tan
me.
standing
Listen.
outside. But
Listen,
I don't know if you can see it, but I am very pale.
you know what I mean?
I
That's what
don't
I'm saying.
think-
You can just read
I
at home. You don't have to.
Okay.
There are some people that go on vacation and just read by the pool. You just read at home.
That's what I
And
do.
spend a
That's
couple
all
hours.
because when I'm home, I'm either working or I'm playing video games or I'm just hanging on social media. I leave my cell phone in like the cottage. I take a book, put on my bathing suit, put on my
Beach is for
Crocs, head
swimming.
down to the beach. I go
Just
swimming
for-
too. It's just like
or
I don't
walking.
something you want to go back and forth. I sit there.
And then you're
I'll
gonna
read
wet
for
your
like an
book.
hour. What I do is I'll sit there, I'll read
We're
for
gonna
like,
keep going.
like an hour. Then I'll walk up and down the beach,
Sorry,
you know,
Miss.
build up a nice like sweat. And I guess it's the only time I exercise when I walk up and down the beach, one week every summer. And then I'll go swimming for like an hour, come back, dry off, and read again, and just repeat the process all day until I go home. I'll go back to the cottage in which I'll read in the bed.
Could read it at the cottage. I'm just saying at the beach. It's just not. I don't know. That's just me.
This is actually for me the first book that I've taken to the beach in as long as I can remember. Now that you say that, it really is because normally when I'm at the beach, anyway, we won't go into too much detail. But
No, let's go into detail.
You can go into detail.
but no, normally if I'm at the beach, it's like max I can do looking at a book is 5 minutes. With this one, I was able to rush through like a couple chapters pretty quick.
That definitely all cut out for me. I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, so all I said was this book I was able to read like sitting there and got through a bunch of chapters. Normally, I
You can
think-
read it quickly, this kind of book, but otherwise I'm too hot. I'm super hot. Then I have to go and put more sunblock on. It's just, you do too much at the beach. You want to relax, and then you have to hold up a book. It's just too much.
I don't know. Reading's relaxing for me.
Yeah, you can relax. Not at the beach.
we got a beach purist over here on our hands, guys.
Listen, I tell you this right now. I've been looking at the weeks, by the way, since we do every other Tuesday. We're supposed to meet the Tuesday I am on vacation at the beach. So you guys can either meet without me or we can meet the week after that. 'Cause
Or we could do
You're
a
not
beach
going to
episode.
call in from the beach?
Dude, yeah, do you want to do a beach episode?
Well, I
That
wouldn't
could be a
I don't know
fun
if I'd be able to
idea.
I don't know if I can upload it to YouTube is the only thing. So I could do it, but someone else would have to record it and upload it to YouTube for
This
me.
is your book club, Colin. You have to be
This is
there.
our book club.
That's true. It's for fans by the fans.
With the
Hey,
people.
speaking
He
of
called us
which-
the people today. He got so
How
mad.
weird is it that we're starting July? Because this whole month, like, really fast.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I was gonna ask you guys since especially we're doing for the next meeting, we're doing. I mean, granted, you guys tell me the book pages may not be that long, but since we're doing the last two phases, do you guys want to meet on the 21st? So that would be exactly 3 weeks from today.
I'm up for whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
Good, yeah.
Or
What, instead of the 14th?
Yeah. So instead of the 14th, since you'll be on vacay.
No, my vacation's not till August.
Oh.
So we can meet on the 14th.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying-
We'll meet on the 14th then.
Then why
I've
did you
been
go
doing
through all
them-
that?
Because we were talking about the beach and reading books at the beach, and it
All right,
reminded
well,
and
okay, well, keep in mind, in August at one point, we'll have to skip a week.
and I was doing every other week, and I believe it's August 25th. I'll be at the beach. But I
Oh.
kind of do want to record from the beach. It's just I would have to upload it to YouTube on like Friday night when I get home instead of Wednesday morning. So it just goes up to YouTube like 2 or 3 days later. But honestly, no one watches our YouTube videos.
Well, you can't rush art anyway, so it'll get here when it gets here.
And I'm gonna
So-
tell you, I can't do the 25th. That's my mama's birthday. Love you,
That
mama.
is, it's DG's birthday.
That's my mama's birthday. I can't listen. That's a national holiday. Can't do nothing on my mama's birthday.
Is anyone else watching this video? Because that's my favorite aunt's birthday, and I don't want to watch it.
No, I didn't watch the first video, but I watched the second one because.
Yeah, so we can still.
Yeah.
So just to clarify,
Just skip
we
a
will be
week,
meeting
it's
the
all good.
14th for the next one, and also just to point out, Master and Apprentice, the next book, that is July 28th.
Okay.
I just
Just so
ordered it
everyone has
today.
plenty of time. I
That's a good
ordered it too.
It's a good one.
I ordered.
I'm excited.
I put my credit card on my sister's Amazon account because she was Prime. And I just ordered it that way.
So how much of Master and Apprentice are we going to read for the first, are we splitting it into thirds, or how are we doing that?
Does anyone know off the top of their head how many
I don't-
chapters it is?
Yeah, because I don't have a copy on me, so I don't know how to actually split it
If
up
you'll
yet.
excuse me, I'll take a look. Hold on.
I got a copy right here.
All right, so August 25th from the beach, unless you guys want to wait till September 1st.
Well, Alex won't join us. It's his mom's birthday. It's your aunt's birthday, no?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my mom's birthday. Nobody's doing
is
nothing.
that one broken into parts like the rest of them? Or is that one just straight
no.
through?
No. This one is just it's not into parts. This one's just a straight through novel. I'm pretty sure it's
There's about
36, but let
38 or so.
Okay. And then the pages, page-wise, there's 428 pages of the actual text, and then there's a subsidiary chapter, like kind of an epilogue at the end.
Mhm.
That's an extra.
So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do the book in thirds, or you want to do it in like quarters?
I don't care.
Majority vote.
I don't care.
It's only a majority vote if people actually vote. If every single one of you abstain, there's no vote.
Let's just do it in thirds.
Yeah.
In thirds, all right.
So then that's like what, 12 chapters, 13 chapters every 2 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like 13, right? Because it's like almost 38. So it'd be like 13, then like what, 12 in like the epilogue or something?
Hmm.
Or 11 in the epilogue? All right.
That's fine.
So yeah, the
All right,
first
so
13
keep that.
chapters by July 28th.
Okay.
And then we finish off New Dawn on July 14th. Should I hit the outro? We good? Anyone want to say anything else about New Dawn?
Everyone have a great 4th of July. Jeez.
You guys too.
Oh,
You
yeah,
too.
You as
You got
well.
any good plans?
Thanks, you too.
Are you going to be in
No.
Martha's Vineyard again?
No, I'm around.
Oh, okay.
I've never been invited to Martha's Vineyard by you.
I was gonna joke. I'm hiring a guy named Skelly to do the fireworks.
Actually, I think he mentioned there was going to be a book club meeting there. I think he did.
There will be.
I
I've
wish.
never been there ever. Or Cape Cod. And, like, isn't that weird?
I've been to the Cape a couple times for like day trips with one of my friends, but I don't think I've ever been to Martha's Vineyard.
I usually go
We-
north. I don't really go.
We were gonna go once, and then like, cause there's like a bus from, is it Hyannis that goes, you take like the boat to like
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard,
There is.
and we
Very-
had just missed it, and there was like thousands of people, I want to say, waiting for the next one. So like, we're gonna have to wait for the next one, and then we might not even get on, so we just didn't go. We just hung out Hyannis.
Yeah, it was a weird time this year. I won't keep you guys too long, but the island was like ghost town, which is kind of nice, but normally it's like triple population and
Yeah.
quiet.
But did you have the beach to yourself?
Pretty much no. And here's the thing that's even not weirder, but no lifeguards on South Beach, but there's always great white sharks.
Hmm.
Hey, listen, man.
It's the same thing. You got rid of animal
Chum is
control because the blood cultists. Get rid of the lifeguards because the sharks deal with them.
Yeah. Saves money.
Legit.
And they're also good at cleaning up.
Good. Oops,
All
sorry.
right, Colin, hit the outro.
All right, let's do it. So that does it for another episode of Cut the Sith Reading Club. Join us in 2 weeks as we continue our discussion of Star Wars A New Dawn by John Jackson Miller with Phase 3 Detonation and the final phase Damage Assessment. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little notification bell so you get updates every time a video comes out. Leave a comment below, like the video, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/cutthesith. Join our Discord. The link will be in the description for the video. And may the Force be with you.
Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.